Selections from the Kolbrin Bible, Jesus. This book contains the biographical accounts of Jesus Christ with several first-person quotes. This has been copied and edited as found. The Britain Book, Chapter 2, Jesus. Selections from verses 1 through 6. This is the true record of events concerning Jesus, son of Joseph and Mary. Jesus came not as a shepherd to drive, but as one bearing a guiding lantern to show the way. Jesus was brawny built and not one to take money without labor. Jesus, our Master, light of our life, was hung on the shameful cross in his 27th year. This being the 1099th year of Britain, in the reign of Tiberius, ruler of the Roman lands to the east. Chapter 3, Jesus continued. Selections from verses 2 through 15. Joseph, Jesus' father, died when Jesus was 16. Jesus loved his father, who had taught him his trade. He consoled himself with the scriptures which said, "I will become his father and he shall be my son." Mary, his mother, did not like his inwardness, his long silences and his solitary habits. She rebuked him for being a tardy breadwinner, but this was unjust, for he excelled in his craft. She could not understand her strange son who was unlike the others, and she wanted a practical man, not a dreamer and preacher. Jesus went into the wilderness beside the Jordan. He joined the society of saints, which was beside the sea of heavy salt. When he came back to the Jordan, he no longer retired within himself, but was a man of direct and forceful speech. He was decisive and commanding. The people called him the Galilean because he was raised in Galilee. He wrought cures, as did many others in those times. The Levites put out that he did not as they, but by the power of the prince of darkness. But Jesus said that such was blasphemy, as the healing Spirit of God was strong within him. Therefore, such an accusation was a sin, but they mocked him. He was a true man, a good organizer, strong, alert and resourceful. He had determination and courage, though withal, he could be gentle and compassionate. He was inflexible in purpose, yet he could bend before the storm and survive where the stubborn man would go down. He stood firmly against the holy men of the Jews, whose seeming holiness was but a cloak, woven with self-righteousness, lined with intolerance and sewn with threads of sadness. Jesus came and was like the slasher, which clears away the useless undergrowth in the forest of life. He uprooted and burned that which was unproductive. Jesus came and separated men out from the errors of the world. He brought men a mirror, into which they could look and see their own divinity. He opened a door now open to all, and those who choose to pass through stand on the road to the eternal. He raised up the fallen and healed the afflicted. He woke those who slept and reminded those who had forgotten. He enlightened the righteous and gathered in those who were lost. Verse 35. Jesus was one, in whom all the virtues came to fruition, and his gentleness drew to him all his neighbors. In his presence, even enemies were reconciled, and this presence alone brought tranquility to a restless and sorrowful heart. In the street, even the little children followed him, just to touch his hand. Verse 37. His mind and wit were like the lightning flash. He was always keen and alert, and his face never lacked the calm beauty of cheerfulness. He was friendly towards all and acted so as not to annoy anyone. Only in the face of great injustice to another or oppression of the weak, or in the presence of gross hypocrisy did his wrath boil up and overflow, but never was it other than righteous. Though always compassionate and sympathetic, he was never sad or downcast. He rose above all suffering and pain, and ever seemed at peace within himself. Verse 49. It came to pass, at this time, that many said that Jesus was the Messiah, but this was a manifest falsehood. Jesus, the son of Joseph and Mary, was an inspired prophet, a teacher who held the hand of God, and there had been others before him. His mother was a decent woman, both ate food as humans do. Mary did not set herself up as a goddess, neither did she preach. The sayings of Jesus. Jesus speaks about wisdom. Never has there been a shortage of wisdom in the world, but always there has been too little in the hearts of men. Wisdom is not something written in books, but that which is conveyed from the book of the heart. It is a way of life. Jesus describes heaven. For the kingdom of heaven is neither here nor there and contains all good things. It is in the hearts of men and exists where God reigns. When the lion lies down with the lamb and peace reigns over all, there shall be found the kingdom of heaven. Yet truly, heaven and the kingdom of heaven are not the same. Jesus is asked how to live life best. Live your lives in the world as men who journey through a strange land, marveling at its wonders, tasting its pleasures, but ever on guard against dangers. For undue love of the world is a doorway to evil. There are those who derive pleasure in being what they are not, but as their hair turns grey, they suffer sorrow and frustration. Be ever true to yourselves and to your natures. Advice from Jesus. The man who cannot rise above the burden of his sorrows or the trials of the day shall not know the kingdom of heaven. Nor can he know the love, which is the cornerstone of life. Jesus is asked when the end shall be. Jesus answered, there will be an end to the beginning, and men will know this by the spirit of the times. Men will no longer be as brothers, nor will they be manly. Women will be as men and men as women. Adultery will not be condemned, nor will fornication. Therefore, these will flourish. Men will not honor their homelands, and there will be no discrimination among them, nor will they maintain the purity of their races. Fathers will not be honored, nor mothers respected, and children will be raised to be wayward. Perversions will be encouraged, and criminals will mock the law. There will be incest and rape, and it will be unsafe to walk abroad. Floods, famines, droughts and earthquakes will cause death and destruction. Strange sicknesses will smite the people, and there will be a denial of God. Babes will be slain in the womb. Jesus was a man born of flesh and blood. He was not a Messiah but a prophet. He was one with God. Jesus used his life to set a shining light for those that have awakened, and a reminder to those that have forgotten. These were the words and the impressions Jesus left us with. This has not been altered and is included under the authorization given to the compilers.